What is the most reliable e-commerce model of 2025? Well, if you have followed my channel for a while, you probably already know my answer, but I want to spend this video talking about why I think unequivocally the answer to that question is high-ticket dropshipping. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I just want to remind everybody my high-ticket dropshipping program link is in the description below. I am currently in the process of building the second version of this right now. It is January 6th of 2025. It is set to release, my second version of the program is set to release later this month. If you buy the current version of the program at the current price, you will be grandfathered in at no additional cost to the new program. And it's going to be a lot more expensive than the current one is. So if you are someone that is planning on building a high-ticket dropshipping business, really recommend checking it out and hope you find value in it. That said, let's talk about why I think high-ticket dropshipping is the most reliable and still the best e-commerce business model of 2025. Now, I want to kind of qualify this. I think especially for someone that is just getting into e-commerce, this is a really good business model. Let me kind of explain that qualification there. I got my start as an entrepreneur in high-ticket dropshipping, and I'll talk about why in a second. But a lot of the almost unexpected consequences of this that this kind of turned into is it kind of butterflied into a bunch of different businesses that I now currently run. Obviously, I've got my high-ticket dropshipping program. But what that has turned into, and running Google ads and helping other people with their own Google ads over the years, has turned into my own Google ads agency. There's that piece of it. Then there's my supplier acquisition service, where I've done this for so long, I know how to speak the language, where I'm actually offering the service to get people suppliers for their high-ticket dropshipping businesses. And then there's my website building services. Kind of all of this stuff, all these skills that I've acquired over the years that I decided to monetize and to leverage and to provide value to other people. So, for me, that's what has become equally, if not even more scalable than high-ticket dropshipping, and that's just kind of where my entrepreneurship journey has taken me. But let's take a step back to when I did get started in high-ticket dropshipping and where I think it's at today. The reason that I got started and the reason why I think it is still unequivocally the most reliable e-commerce model to get into, especially as a beginner today, is because A, it is so targeted, and B, you are selling recognized, established brands that are domestic to the country that you're currently in. So let's start with the targeted piece of it. What I mean by targeted is it is significantly easier to actually get your products in front of high intent customers than it is for something like low ticket drop shipping, or I'm going to use that as the example, as the comparison. When you're comparing the two, low ticket drop shipping and high ticket drop shipping, low ticket drop shipping requires you to use social ads. And the thing with social ads, it's like, yes, they recognize people's interests, but they don't always recognize your intent. I get lots of ads all day long on my Instagram feed, on my TikTok feed, of products that look cool, but I have no present interest in buying. When it comes to the way that you advertise and the way that you develop your SEO for high-ticket dropshipping, is you are getting your products in front of people that are specifically looking to buy them. They are typing these words in on Google, and you have your advertisements and you have your SEO and your keyword ranking set up to where you are placing your products in front of these people that are fully intending on buying whatever it is that you're selling because they're looking for it. So that's the targeted piece of it. When you look at the margins, the word high ticket implies expensive. And so, especially if you're someone that's getting started, let's say you have a pretty small budget. Let's say you have $1,000. Let's say you have $3,000, somewhere in that range. Because I don't recommend having no money. I recommend having probably at least $1,500 saved up to apply towards this. Let's say you run ads for several weeks, you spend about $1,000, and you get one sale for a product that is $4,000. And let's say your gross margins are an easy 25%. Well, 25% of 4,000 is 1,000. So before payment processing fees, before and that's kind of the main one, before like your Shopify expenses, uh, you're profiting $1,000. So really, you could spend $1,000 in ads, make one sale, and make all of that back just from that single sale. Or it has the potential to be a $7,000 sale where not only you're making your money back, let's say you profit $3,000 from that $7,000 sale, you have just now netted $2,000. Just some simple math, arbitrary math. That's not always how it's going to work. All margins are different, all suppliers are different, but you get my point. You have the ability to, especially when you're getting started, to make up pretty much all the business expenses that you have put forth with a single sale. And that's what's so powerful about this. So then once you actually get to the point where not only you're making the money back, but you're able to put that money back into the business and scale it over time, scale your ad spend, develop your SEO along the way, to the point where, let's say you're getting one sale per day. Now, if you're comparing any other business model, let's say I'm selling baseball hats. If I'm selling one baseball hat per day and I'm making $5 a sale, like that's an obvious example. Like I'm not making much money whatsoever, and I'm probably not even breaking even. So if you were to just put it out in a vacuum, make one sale per day, that doesn't really mean a whole lot unless you're talking about a high dollar point, which in high ticket dropshipping you are. I just want to clarify, when I say high ticket, I mean anything $1,500, $2,000 and above as an average price point. Over the course of time doing this, I would say my average order value is somewhere in the realm of $2,300 to $2,500. So if you're doing that once per day, let's say you spend $300 per day in ads. Let's say I get one sale per day for $3,000. My margins are 30%. So just doing easy math here, I spent $300 that day in ads. I profited $1,000 gross from the supplier from that sale. And so $1,000 minus $300, I netted $700, and then obviously take into account your payment processor fees and like your Shopify subscription at the end of the month. Let's call it an even $650 that I profited that day. Well, if I do that every single day, you do the math, that adds up to almost $200,000 per year in income. So that's just the math of the power of high ticket dropshipping. The last prong of this that I want to talk about is the fact of the brands that you are partnering with. You're not, yes, you want to establish your own brand and your own identity in whatever space that you get into with high ticket dropshipping. But especially as a beginner, you have nothing to leverage with your own brand. You have everything to leverage when you're selling products from brands that have been around for 50, 100 years. When we're talking about Honda, when we're talking about 3M, when we're talking about Caterpillar, when we're talking about these, well-established brands. It doesn't have to be huge corporations either. There are plenty of like 20 employee manufacturers in the water pump space, but when you're someone that deals with water pumps all the time, maybe you're a farmer that has to replace his well pump every 3 years, or maybe you have more than one of them, and you know the brands well, you've worked with them, you've dealt with them in the past. Like those brands are recognized by those people, and if you carry those brands, that instantly gives them a lot of trust, and it gives them a high probability of buying from you. So it's not just that you are selling products that people are searching for. It's not just that you have the potential to profit, 1,000, 5,000, sometimes 10,000, depending on what kind of industry you're in on a single order. It's the fact that you are building your business on the shoulders of these already established existing businesses that you basically just get to list on your own website and put forth all these products, all these brands that already have trust out in the marketplace. And it's these three things that make high ticket dropshipping so remarkably powerful. One last thing that I want to mention about why I think this is so powerful. Because of how challenging the business model is, because I want to be clear, this is not an easy business model to get into. This isn't low ticket drop shipping where you can set up a Shopify store, connect a bunch of products from AliExpress, and 5 hours later have an up and running business running social ads on Facebook and TikTok and what have you. That's not what this is at all. You are building a long-term, sustainable, reputable business where you are developing real relationships with real companies. You are providing real value to real people, and all of that carries with it its own set of challenges and hurdles to overcome. And if this thing was easy, I'm telling you, everybody would make so much money from it. But the reality is it's not. And what's good about that for you is that it really lowers the competition because the barrier of entry is much higher from getting suppliers to actually working with customers and providing your own specialized customer service. The barrier of entry is so much higher that it's going to weed out so many entrepreneurs that don't even want to give a go at it, that maybe try it and fail within the first few weeks or first couple months. It because the barrier is so much higher, the barrier of entry is so much higher, the competition is way lower, and that's just kind of how it naturally works out. So to wrap this up, high ticket dropshipping remains A, kind of the best kept secret of 2025, and B, in my opinion, especially if you're just getting started in entrepreneurship, the absolute most reliable path to building a long-term business and creating a very meaningful income online. That said, if you are someone that's really serious about building a high-ticket dropshipping business, my program, like I said at the beginning of the video, the link is in the description below. What it does is I'm literally building a high-ticket dropshipping business from scratch, from getting your business licenses to running ads to running the business, building, scaling, etc. I'm currently building 2.0 version of the course. And if you buy the course at the current price, you will automatically get the second version of the course at no additional cost. The second version of the course is going to be a lot more expensive than the current version. So if you want to save a lot of money and you are interested in doing this, I recommend buying it now and getting in at the lower price. If you have questions, feel free to email me. If you have suggestions, leave comments. If you are new to the channel, really encourage you to subscribe. I'm doing my best in 2025 to upload daily high-ticket dropshipping content. This is just kind of a challenge that I have for myself. I want to be really, really consistent with this YouTube channel because I've seen where it's gotten me to this point with all the people that I've gotten to meet, with all the business models that I've kind of created for myself. And I just want to keep this thing going. It really motivates me. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.